Okay. We should be back up? Hopefully? Question mark? Sure hope so. um... but yeah, so Turtle had to go. They're they need to get ready for what they need to do. Um, and yeah, so just hopefully if you can hear, you can refresh. Um, um, so we're going to get back to what we were doing and play more games. Yeah. Um, so cool. I might pop on some music because I know we can play some MCC music and that'll be fine. Um uh and that'll be good. So let's just pop this on. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that should be good. I'm hoping. I'm hoping my Wi-Fi doesn't die again. 'Cause it was silly and did. Um. Cool. Yay. I hate when this sort of thing sometimes happens and it's just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Um, so, my quests. I have Dynaball, Stick. I think I'm gonna try and do some Battle Box because I have some win rounds and also complete 3 games. Um, I might need to re-roll that one. Or this one. Oh no, ugh. Really, doing a survival placement of 5 is really hard, and I can hardly do advanced completions. I cannot do advanced completions. And I don't think I can do 8th place. I'm gonna try and do this one. This. That's worse. Oh wait, no, survival placement of 10th. I can do that. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, I'm back. I apologize for the Wi-Fi just being silly and cutting out. What game is my best? I'm pretty sure Dynaball is because if I look at my game passes, Battle Box I have level 14. Sky Battle up level 10. Yeah, not my fault. Just yeah, excited to be back. Parkour Warrior I have level 3, almost level 4. To get to the other side, I have almost level 8, but mainly level 7. Hole in the Wall, I have level 13. And then Dynaball, I have maxed an entire section. I've maxed it. It is level 25. I just have the Mastery Challenge left. So I went on to another one, and I'm level 5 on that one. So, yeah, no, I'm much, I'm much better at this. Look at that. I got a Dynaball thing. So, yep. I'm just trying to play some Dynaball. Oh, I can't. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I have to kick. Yeah, okay. Disband the party so I can actually play. Woo! Okay. My music was being silly. Now it is back. It's fine now. I'm very much trying to be sure I'm keeping correct with everything. Whoop! Oh, that's poison. Oh, that sucks so bad. I hate that. Oh. No. No. I'm gonna die. Because I'm bad at this game. Oh, what? Oh, someone rushed. Well, I didn't die. But someone rushed. It was a rush. Damn it! Do, 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 do. Ow. Ouchies. That hurt a lot. Oh, neat. Woo! We did it. That's good. Oh, owie. I'm terrible at aiming. What the heck? Oh, what? How'd we get them all? Got them all. Woo! Team first. Ah, that's neat. I mean, just need to complete games and win rounds, so that's fine. Do. I think I'm gonna... Yeah, thank you. Do. Yeah, that was actually good. Someone, they carried me. They definitely carried me. Because there's no way I would have been able to do that just on my own. Nah, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Okay. I may need to take a break eventually to have lunch, but I'm kind of vibing right now. I'm just gonna play a little more. Whoop! Ah. I'm also having some junior mints because yes. Just waiting for the cue. Nope. Ah, you're going to travel for family tomorrow? That sounds fun. Where are you heading to? Or, like, approximate location. You don't have to give actual location. And, like, or more like, what are you gonna do with family as well? What kind of things are happening? Dutch coast. Ooh, that sounds fun. Oh, spaceship. This is the one that was. This is the. Yeah. I keep falling in this one because of the lava. Is that where like, are you gonna like? Oh right. If it's probably like summertime. Just hang out. Are you gonna go to the beach at all? If there's beaches. Really feels like that's a place where you'd go to a beach. I don't know. The word coast made me think of a beach. The Dutch Sea is still cold. Oh, yeah. That's fair, actually. I'm very bad at this. Ow. Yeah. Let's go. Oh no! Someone fill! Someone fill the thing! It's gonna be a tie. Oh yeah! Woo! We won. Clutch! We had one person put a thing in. Just in time. Yeah, let's go. Woo! Let's go. Oh no, ads. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. I use Spotify with ads because I can't afford premium. Oh! Yeah, no, I'm getting crit. That's some good crits, but also I hate the fact that we got crit. No. That's me dead. I'm losing the round. That's fine. We're still third. I just need to win rounds and complete games. That's all I need to do. 2, 1. Boop! Yeah. Pop shot.
Bravo, we manage payroll for over 800 businesses. We help small to mid-sized clients navigate the challenges of offering health insurance to their staff. The Massachusetts Health Connector for Business is one of the only systems where you can offer different plans across different carriers at different deductibles and different prices. That's why the Massachusetts Health Connector is the right fit for small businesses.
I helped. I assisted. I helped. I definitely helped. Oh. Woo! Let's go. Battle Pass reward? Ooh. What did I also get? Okay. Yeah, I did pretty well. I just need to complete another game and win, like, a bunch more rounds. But that one is my weekly, so I don't have to do it right away. But I do want to get a decent amount of rounds won, so I don't have to do them all in one day, like I tried to on Monday. I don't know why Monday was the day that it cut off. I assumed it would be either Monday through Sunday, or it would be Saturday, or Sunday through Saturday. But it wasn't. It was like, it's Tuesday through Monday? Why is the week like that? That makes no sense to me. Well, maybe I'm just silly. I don't understand how weeks work. Cause that is a possibility. Oh, I missed. Ah! Owie. Oh, there's someone up there. I can't tell where, though. Woo! No. 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 Owie. Ow. Yeah, I'm very bad at it. Don't worry. It'll be fine, probably. I hope. Oh, I died. Huh. Oh, I fell down. Okay, I'm good. Providing some healing for my teammates. Keep losing the rounds though. What? I figured I would die. But I completed games. That's good enough for me. That works for me. I just need to do another stick. I know I can do a stick, I just suck at it. That's fine. Excuse me. Healer again, because I always select healer. Oh, I also got a Spark of Invis. What does that do again? Ah, okay, I have to remember that held items are still visible, because I keep forgetting that, and then I'm like, yeah, no one can see me, and I'm holding a bow or something, and I'm like, ah, never mind. Boop, 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 boop. Come on. Let's get some shots. Here you go. You got a little healing. Oh! No. No. Eh. Eh. I'm invisible. I'm invisible. I'm invisible. I'm invisible. I'm invisible. I can get away. I can get away. Running. Yeah. When I'm the last one, I'm just, yeah, there's no winning. I just suck. Why did I queue into this again? I didn't need to do that. I'm floating. Oh. Just barely missed. Oh, it is thundering and lightning out. I can hear it just outside. I thought it wasn't gonna rain today. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it's raining. Yeah, fair. Alright. Rain, rain, go away, please. Maybe that's why my Wi-Fi blipped out. I don't know. Bad at this? Oh. Yeah, no, that's fair. I was the last one. We're gonna lose again. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be lose. Lose, lose. It's fine. It's fine, though. I think. I think I'm gonna switch to Dynaball, though. It's also popular. And it'll be better because I can get a stick, hopefully. Oh, I got a reward crate. Let me see. Ooh. Nate. That's good. Oh, I got 5 of those. Oh, and 6 of those. That's good, I think. I may need to reroll this, though. That's fine. Completing 18 games, it might take a while, but, like, I don't care how I place. That's fine, actually. That's good. That works for me. Actually, I'm gonna quickly go to the workshop, and I can see what I can do. Oh, yeah, I wanted the material clusters for this. Boop. Yeah. Gee. Wait, what did I actually want to do? I got caught up in the conversation from chat. It's fine. Oh. Alright. Let's see. 1 hour. Okay. Oh. Okay, do that. Oh, bronze treasure chest. That's 27 minutes. Let's do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can do this. 7 hours, 41 minutes. Let's do this one. Boop. Oh. Okay. We have a decent amount of material dust, which is good. Oh, I can scavenge this. Let's go. Yep. That's pretty good. Let's see. What can I get? Not any of these. These are very expensive. No, not even the chroma packs. Ah. Okay, now we can go to Dynaball. I usually want to set up things in the Fusion Forge to be able to let them run while I play games. Because yes. I hope this is, I don't know, just a vibe, because I'm just vibing. Alright.
When you hydrate with Liquid IV, you're powered by Hydroscience.
Alright. This one can be difficult to do because you gotta, like, potentially go between the different ships, and can be difficult if you don't know how to do it properly, or if you don't get floaty. But let's hope I can get a stick, because I need a stick. I just need a TNT first. Give me explosive. I promise I will use effectively. I missed. Whoopsie! Alright, so I'm gonna try again when I get it. Okay, peace phase though. Peace. Neat. Alright. Whoop! Let's go here. Please stick. No! It didn't stick. Oh, no. It's fine. I knew that was gonna happen. Oop. Haha, powder. I like the powder. Boop! Oh. Oh well, I have to wait now. And expand this out a little. Jesus. That's... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. That's better. Oh, I missed. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible, actually. Why did I ever say that I was good? Come on. I just want to get a stick. They're not being sticky. They're just sitting there. And I can't stick them. Oh. Peace. Peace face. What if I don't want peace? What if the answer isn't peace? Chicken airstrike, let's go. Go, chickens! Drop those. Drop the bombs. Ah! Okay. Oh, I missed. I missed terribly. Oh, no. Let's see if I can go there. Please get a stick. No, it's not stick. Oh, well. Ooh. Pinky drop. Oh! Let's go. There. Eh. I needed a valid target, but once I got it, hee. I like sowing chaos. It's fun. Oh. No. Oh, I'm way really far back. I actually need to aim a little higher up. Come on, let me get a stick. Ah! There's some people over there. Stick them. Nope. That failed. I keep failing. I keep just barely missing. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. All I gotta do is survive. That shouldn't be too difficult. I just need to get those two over there. One of those two. Please. No! I mean, I got them, but I wanted a stick! Not just kill. Or eliminate, whatever. Please. 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 No. Yeah! Let's go! That was what I needed. Let's go! Oh, that missed. Oh. I'm a precarious situation. I'm in a very precarious situation. Help. Help. Oh, there we go. Now I can get up. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck. Oh, there I go. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Woo, I'm level 15 with Aqua. That's pretty good. I thought it was 9 like 5 minutes ago, though. It's fine. Aqua. Ooh, oh, that's a really good scroll, actually. Maybe I wasn't level 9. Maybe I'm being silly? I don't know. I got my quest, though. Woohoo! Didn't take that very long at all. That's good. Um. I have anything in Game Pass? No. Unfortunate. Ooh, but I have a reward. Great. Reward. Great. Yep. That's totally a word. Oh, I have 5 of those too. Okay. That's good. I gotta make more stuff. Ooh, I can get another meter. So survival placement of 10. That actually can be done pretty easily if I'm able to get into a place to hide. Because I've done that before. I've just hid, and that gets me to a survival placement of 10 or even 2 minutes. And it's just, it's like, okay, 10th, it's good enough. And I can complete 18 games. I might play a little bit more Battle Box because I have a lot of quests from there. Whereas I have little of... I might play a little bit of Sky Battle later, but... I have complete games and win rounds, so I might try and at least get through a stage if I can in this stream. Besides, like, Battle Blocks tend to be really quick, so if I do need to get a break, I can, like, each thing is only about 3 minutes, because it's 1 minute per, maybe 4 or 5, which is similar for Sky Battle. I just need to get, like, a couple minutes in, and it's fine. Boop. Friends! Orbs. I get the orbs. I'm a baller. Yeah. Are people lagging too? Yeah, I just have a ping of 52. Ugh, it's a little worse than usual though. I get orbs. Look at these orbs. Glow. I can make them glow. Glow, glow, glow. Yeah, I died. I sent my orbs though. I did my orbs. That's good enough for me. Woohoo! Oh. Yeah, I too got killed instantly. Got eliminated. Yep. I think pink team is just really strong or something. If I win any rounds, it's usually because of a carry. I'll never be able to do it myself. Like, yeah, I'm not skilled. I'm not skilled enough for that. Boop. Boop. Yeah. Yeet. I get another harm. No. Someone's filling. Someone's filling. Up. I ran distraction. Put in the green stuff. Yeah, there you go. was so close. Oh, that was an ace. Nice ace. Yeah, I know. Nice ace. I shouldn't compliment the opposing team, but yeah, it's fine. Probably. Oh my god, I got blown up. Yeah, that makes sense. I got yeeted. How'd I get more Dungle tokens? Oh, I did. I need 10 though. I don't have 10. I only have 5. I mean, I could use gems to get more tokens, but I don't really want to do that. Cause that feels... eh. Yeah, 14th. Not as bad as 16th, but pretty bad. I gotta score 0. I gotta play some more battle box. Battle box. Battle in the box. You're just fighting for box. Yep. Oh, killer. Let's go. Haunted house. Okay. Oh wait, do I? Huh. Orb of cleansing. Okay. I only get... okay. Oh! I'm very bad at things. I'm not... Oh, I'm not able to offhand it. That's what makes it heavy. Okay. If I could aim! Jeez! No. Get away, get away, get away! I died. I'm so terrible at things. I'm so terrible! Ah! Okay, it's just no. It's fine. If I could aim, I would do it well, but I cannot. Yeah, we got it. Woo! Finally. Yeah, one around. I'm completing some games. That's pretty good. Ugh. Alright, while it's the queue's waiting up, I can look and see about this. 5 minutes. Okay, so another round. And then I could probably do this one. Oh no, the common. I can also go to the create tuner and tune it, I think. Oh, scavenging. I scavenge right here. Neat. 19 remaining, okay. I don't want to abandon it. Or reroll it. But I can definitely try. Because I want to be able to get the flags. Yeet! Healing. Ooh, is this the... this is the knockback one. I'm actually pretty good at getting kills at this one, because I just go yeet! And if I get a hit, then usually knock back into lava. Which is good. Also invis and speed, which are okay, but I don't need extra speed. I need regen. Oh. No! No! Oh. I thought that was really close. I thought I was really close. No! Alright, well. Oh well. Whoop! No! Ah! Yeah. I was just like, I can get out of here, I can get out of here, and then, nope. Nice! We won the round anyway. That's fine. Yeah. Can we win another? Woo! Yeah. I'm glad for carries, because otherwise I don't know what I would be able to do. Second place. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Material core? Interesting. What is material core? Oh, less than 1 minute. Come on. Oh, is it for this? That's good. Ow. Oh, this one again. Neat. I always go for regen or healing or whatever, because if I don't, I just end up dying. Oh. Nope. Someone needed me into lava. And I died. Oh well. I made it. I've made a joke. Cool map, or should I say hot? Yeah. Oh, come on! Ah. Alright, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Just fill. Oh wait. Fill. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Spirits come online. That's awesome. What? No. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Ah! That's fine. 25 jungle tokens. Oh! Nice. That's good. Graveyard spirit. Hi. I want to say a little hi. I keep getting this map. It's been the map for like 5 times, I think. Oh, lava. Yeah, okay. I was gonna die anyway. I'm terrible. I am just terrible. I've accepted that I'm terrible. That is all. Yep. Whoa, no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What? No! Oh, I should still have my regen, but I only got one. And I used it. Oh well. Run away, run away, run away. Oh no. I got yeeted. I thought I could get away. I thought I could get away. I could not. I was wrong. Because of course I was. I just suck at the game. Alright, let's see about doing one of these. Alright, let's see what we get from the treasure chest. Okay, 6 common quest scrolls. Uncommon power shard! That's not bad. Power shards are useful. Let's see what I can get from the seasonal machine. Use the power shard. I actually can't use the power shard. It's for crafting. It's not like I can get power from it. But the seasonal machine, this is the only form of the crate machine we have left. All other forms are gone. It's only this one. But I have 30, so I can pull 3 times. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Neat. Yeah. So I got an oceanic thingy. Let's pull. Eat the power shard? No! You do not want to eat any of them. Mechanical material crate. Okay. I do need more materials. That's good. Come on, 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 come on. Woohoo! I got a thing. Ancient jungle shard. And I think I can use this over here. Let me see. Yeah, I can! I can. Skull orb. Ooh! Legacy key. Okay, can't get that. Torch head. Skull orb crystal. Skull crown crystal. Feathery cap. Is there anything I can get with 1? No, I don't think there is. Oh. I want to see if I can get something with 1 of my shards, but I don't think I can. Throw the power shard. No, I can't throw it either. It's in my infinity bag. It's used for crafting and shopping. That's what it's basically a form of currency / material. It's not anything else. Yeah, it's listed in materials. Let's open these crates to see what I get. Nice. I got some copper chunks and iron bolts and a little bit of dust. Bloop. I love the bloops. Bland water. Virulent vial. That's pretty good. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, let's go. Magic. It's really cool, though, that there's like, that the materials have been refined down to type. So it's a little bit easier to do stuff with it. Well, there's still rarities and stuff, so it works. Oh, no. See, and these are the power shards that can be used. No, I can buy things with power shards, I think. Oh wait, no, not this one. Here. Yeah, with legendary power shards. Attunement catalyst. Is that what I need instead of the attunement crystals? I think I'm gonna get that actually. 'Cause I need those. Because I like magical things. The magical cosmetics are neat. If I go to wardrobe, cosmetic collections, and then I go to magical. I have a lot of the magical ones. Are there also time, space, reality, mind, and soul shards? No. There is common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary power shards. They're all power. Yes, the catalysts can be used for these thingies. That is a good reference. I did understand that reference, if you're wondering. Good job. What's the music playing right now? Oh, it's bingo. That makes sense. Alright. Chat, I'm gonna let you guys decide. What game should I play? There's Rocket Spleef Rush, Sky Battle, Battle Box, Dynaball, Parker Warrior Survivor, Hole in the Wall, To Get to the Other Side, or Parker Warrior Dojo. These are your options. What do you guys think? What should I play? I do have a lot of Sky Battle and Battle Box quests, but you can do whatever. Okay, To Get to the Other Side, I have a vote for that. Alright. Not exactly sure. Dynaball? Okay. Alright, I got votes for those two. Those are the ones that are actually not popular right now. Now, between Dynaball and To Get to the Other Side, which ones should I pick then? Because I'll play whatever. It might just take a little longer to queue, because there's less people. To Get to the Other Side? Okay. 2 for To Get to the Other Side. Let's see if I can queue up here. To get to this. Yeah, it's chaos. It really is. It's why I usually don't play it, because the punching is just out of hand. Like, the karma system did not help the fact that people still punch. They just now get slightly less reward for it. Let's look at my stats. Friends. Lifetime. Oh, I don't have any first placements. Look at this one. I also don't have any top 3 placements. Of course I don't. Punching is out of hand. Yeah, good job, chat. That's a good one. I don't have any round first. Okay. No. Chickens punch. Let's see how many chickens I've punched. That's me. CC7304. 272. Chat is very funny. Yeah. That's a decent amount, but there are people who have done more. Let's do monthly, 61. Weekly, 9. Daily, 9. Oh. Leaderboard will update shortly. That doesn't help. This one says a specific amount of time. Oh, yeah, this is the Vegas one. Oh, I'm already gone. Oh. No! Someone punched me off. Oh, I just fell. That was just me. That was me being silly. That didn't do anything. No, did it? Hey, stop punching people off. Hey, stop it. Karma system not working. I'm gonna not win. 4 seconds left. Yep, I didn't finish the round. I suck. That's the only explanation for this. I suck. Ah, right. Oh, come on! I like when other people make the building for me, so I don't have to. Oh, come on! Why is this not placing? Okay, there we go. Come on. I can do it. I can do it. Please! Let me punch a chicken! Ah! Fine. I'll do this one. Why is it? There we go. I did it! Why did the elephant cross the road? To complete the game mode? Nice. Yeah, good job. Good job. I completed a round! Woohoo! I mean, I suck at it. But I completed the round, actually, instead of did not finish. Did not finish haunts me all the time. I'm always like that. It's like, I barely ever... It's very difficult. How does that help you? At all? Why do people just insist on punching? Like, it doesn't help them in any way to do it. Like, I'm so confused. Ugh. Yeah, no, I'm not. No! Oh no, not the time skip. Nope. Nope, not gonna finish again. Yeah. Thirteenth place. Yeah. I suck so badly at this. Hmm. 10 minutes. Cool. Boop. Satan. Alright, I think I'm gonna... I'm probably going to BRB for a little bit. So I can have lunch. That's what I'm thinking of doing. So... Yep. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Getting back into it. Woo! I think we might do a little bit of Sky Battle because we've done a bit of uh Battle Box, and Sky Battle is the other like quest thing that we have. Like, there's Parkour Warrior Survivor, but I'm bad at that. There's Advanced Completions, but I'm also bad at that. So like, Sky Battle's the only one there. I'm bad at Advanced Completion's bad at it again. And I'm kind of bad at eliminating players, but I can survive. And also kind of bad at Tug Toss. So that's why I'm going for Battle Blocks and Sky Battle, because someone else can carry me, or I just need to complete it, or I just need to survive long enough, and that's good enough. I don't need to do anything better than that. Alright, let's go in. Sky Battle. Alright, some decent chests. I should be able to get 10th place if I can get to one of these two buildings here and just wait. Like, there's 32 players. All I just need is 22 people to die. Eliminate. Be eliminated. That's totally the proper word for it. Regular bow. So sword. Okay. I'll take the snowballs. They're useful. Not when I miss! Like I just did! Ooh. Actually, I should do the diamond. Diamond's better. Ooh! There's people fighting. I do not want to be on the other side of that. Ooh. Chest. Oh. Here you go. Maybe I can block off the area? Oh, just, what if people just not... Can I just stay here? And then you guys kill people? And then I survive 10th place. That's all I need to do. Just 8 more people need to die. And I'll be good enough. If I just stay in this house. 6 more people. Snowball fight? Is this Minecraft Fortnite? No, because Fortnite isn't on an island in the sky. Oh, nope, nope, nope. I got distracted by chat. Not your fault though, it's mine. I suck at it. 13th place. That was really close. If someone didn't find me, if I blocked off the entrance and exit, it would have been probably a couple more seconds and I would have been able to get 10th. Anyway, this isn't Minecraft Fortnite because, you know, you're over the void. Fortnite, I mean, it is a shrinking in border. It is, you loot chests and then you upgrade your stuff in order to kill others. But it's also Minecraft, so it's not, what do you call it? No. Damn. It's not like, you're not using guns or whatever. You're using bows for range or swords for melee. You're not really using, like, it's not Fortnite, it's too weak. Chat, come on. But like, yeah, I'm just gonna re-queue. I want to get a couple 10ths because, like, I need 10 of them in order to complete the stage. So. This one's also kind of easy to hide into if I can get to a specific area up there. Because Valhalla is like that. Fishing rod. Okay. As long as I don't fall. Oh, my team's going that way. I might go that way. Oh, this is where explosion happened. Clearly. Just covering my bases. Hoping 3 people die really, really soon. Blocking exits and entrances. It's fine, see? It's fine. Oh, yeah. There you go, see? You just have to hide. That's all you really have to do, is because I'm very terrible at the game, but I'm decent-ish at hiding. There's a better one that's better for hiding, which is like a tree kind of thingy. I've hidden that for like half the game and been fine. Oh. Whoops. But I'm 5th survivor! Ta-da! I did it! I had to wait till it... Cinder chest hasn't even gotten yet. There's only 3 people left. Oh. But 1 team left. Okay. Right. Oh, that's pretty good, though. I'm 12th place, but I'm 10th survivor. Or 5th survivor. So there we go. That's 1. Yippee! Now I just have to keep doing that. And hope the map is in our favor, because it really does depend on the map. Some maps you just can't. Some maps you can. It really does depend. But ignore the silly Spotify ads.
Now that's music to your ears. Any way you spin it, you can be a smash hit with Shopify. Start your $1-a-month trial today at shopify.com/records.
There we go. I might go for another hour? I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Why are you going that way? Oh, that is where the tower is. Alright. I'll follow you. Ooh, about to fall off. I almost fell off because of the bubbles. Just gotta wait for 9 people to die. Or get eliminated, whatever. Ooh. Oh. I'm already 5th. Yeah. Do. Yeah, let's go. Oh, I fell down. Didn't go boom though. Not yet. Whoop. What? Yeah, no. I'm dying. 4th survivor. And I kind of have to wait till the end because it doesn't activate and tell me that I'm actually the 4th survivor till the end. I don't know why it's like that. But it's fine. Oh, I didn't queue? Why did I not queue? I just queue. There we go. Here we go. Get back into it, cause I suck and I need to get better. Friends. Lifetime. I have eliminated people in Battle Box, but like, or not Battle Box, Sky Battle, but it's like very little. Very, very little. I suck. I'm sometimes top 3, but usually I try and just aim for top 5. Or top 10, because this is the top 10. That's what I need. Well, at least for survival. When you actually get a top 10 survival placement, you often don't get top 10 in terms of overall score because you don't kill anybody. Well, at least I don't. I suck. TNT. Very good. Iron booties. Iron boots. Boots help. I'm hiding. I'm gonna hide. Oh no. Aha! No! 25th. Yeah, sometimes you end up with just early fights and you just die. Like me, I just die. Oh well. Alright, yeah, requeue. I didn't get it. 25th survivor. Which is terrible. Oh, this is a terrible one. I hate this one. Ugh. I got nothing. I got nothing from that. Great. Oh no. Can we just wait here? Can we? Or do we have to go up? We have to go up. We have to go up. Oh no, border. The border. It's the border. The border's killing me. No. Get me out, get me out, get me out. Oh no! I was shot and died. Oh. 14th. Yeah, that's not enough. I need 10th. There's still chests in the middle. I'm very bad at this. Okay. Alright. Silly ads. Need to get that tower. This is a good one. Levy, awesome. Boots. Orb. Sword. Neat. Oh, there's people there. Oh, there's people there. Yeah, never mind. We're not going over there. We're gonna try a different way. Because this way would be, bad. Ha! Poison. Poison. Oop! No! If I can just get myself to a good spot. Oh wait, there's 5 people left. Oh, okay, I could die. It's fine. Probably. Four people remaining. What if I just end up getting 3rd? Because somebody dies and I don't. What if that happens? What then? What then? Oh, it's an entire team versus me. Right. Okay. What if I just run down the clock? What if I just run down the clock? Uh-oh. Danger. Danger! Whee! Bye-bye! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're getting themselves. Ah! I was really close. You can take them, fight back. No, that was a 3v1. That was a 3v1. I was a 3v1. I was against almost the entire pink team, and then it was just me. And I was like, oh, what if other people die before me? And it's like, no. But it worked. Because I got the 10th place. It's so silly. Okay, I need to do that more often. That's fun. Yeah, I couldn't take them. It was a 3v1. I'm not that skilled at PvP. Yeah, no, that was bad. That was very bad. Yeah, as soon as I was over here, they just rushed towards me because I was trying to get the stuff at the start. Restart. I need a not candy map because candy is bleh. Oh, it's Candyland again. No, no. Orb. Oh shit! That was a miss. Oh my god! That was 2 TNT that shot up there. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, sometimes I just get unlucky. And also, I am just terrible on this map. Maybe I can hide in the middle, like the Aqua Axolotls did in the MCC Twitch Rivals. They just hid in the center, dug down, hid in the center. It's fine. I'm not sure how I'd get to the center without being seen, but you know. It's fine. What? No, I said not Candyland. I got more Candyland. Oh no. What if we just wait here? Sure, it'll be fine, right? Oh no, we have to go. No, the border's coming in. Oh, you went up. Oh no. Oh no, the border. Oh no, the border. Oh no, the border. Oh no. Oh, I suffocated. I was 8 though. Okay, I can stay here. I can stay here. I can wait now till it ends. And then that'll be good. That's fine. Alright. I'll just wait. I didn't even expect that I'd be able to get 8 in that one, but you know, I did. I outlived 24 players. Good enough for me! Woo! Cool. And that'll be 4. And I have 7 here, and I have 5 here. I might go for 1 more. Maybe? Or I might switch to battle blocks again. I don't know. I want to do something that's productive. I'll probably stay on Sky Battle for at least a little bit longer. I like doing this little jump between these two and just flipping around. It's cool. Turn and jump and turn. Oh, is that got out of queue? Weird. Actually, no, I'll check on Fusion Forge. I think I have something done. I do! Yippee! Okay, I can get this. Not any of those. Don't really need any of those. Oh, this. 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll just... Yeah. Boxing glove token. Skies. Scribbles. Automaton. Sun visor. Oh, I should do this one. And this one. Antlers. Woo! Oh, I should have tuned this. So I can go here now, right? Oh, there it is. Magic. Attune it. It costs 2 for a cosmetic? It used to cost 1. Yeah, magical. I'm doing magical. Yeah, I like the magical stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Cause like, book, playing cards, magician's wand, 3D glasses. I already got the fit. I already got a lot of these though. Party hat. I already have the party hat. But I can craft it anyway and submit it for reputation and stuff. Which is neat, I think. I should get another power shard. Ooh, that's expensive though. Fine. I need more of these. Boop. I guess 5 hours. Why did I do this one and not the other ones? Oh, because I didn't get them yet. Hadn't gotten them. That's fine. It's probably fine. I already have this cosmetic. Oh. Yeah, I should scavenger's hideout. Give me stuff and things and reputation, please. Nice. Oh, I still can't afford these. That's fine. Munch. Munch. Alright. Yay! Alright, what else am I able to get? Okay, this one, I can get that one, I think. Prismatic. Right. I don't remember clicking the mute button. Oh, I guess I was muted for a little bit. I guess I missed tab. I might click it. I don't know. Let's see. More quests. 4 out of 10. 7 out of 12. 5 out of 18. I feel like I need to do more battle blocks. Because 4 out of 10 is 40%. 7 out of 12 is 58%. But this is 27%. Oh, it tells you. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. So to battle books, I go. Oh, there been maps that are changed? New game. Season 4 map, Yellow House. Season 4 items. Right? Right, okay. Oh, there hasn't been new... Oh, Season 4 wall types. Okay. I wonder what classic is. I guess I saw rig once, but I didn't see classic. Let's look at my game passes and see if I collect anything. I like collecting this stuff. No. 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 Okay. It's fine. Collectibles, yeah. Like, I play this, like, server somewhat more for the collectibles than anything else, because, like, doing quests then gets you the XP to then get you the collectibles easier. Actually, no, I'll be healer. Someone's a healer. Do 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 do. Ah, nope. I failed very badly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm so terrible. Oh, nice. Yeah! Winning rounds, that's what I'm about. That helps. Oh, I didn't do this. Get away, get away, get away. Oh, I just got shot by a heavy crossbow, I bet. Cause I was like over half health and I just got yeeted. Yeah, I lost a round. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, I got a battle pass for it. Let's go. Daily meter. Okay. Battle pass reward. Scavenger relic. Okay. Neat. Can I get a game pass reward? No. Or is it battle pass? I completed rounds. Yippee. Oh, we won a round. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Alright. That's pretty good. I want to do a couple more. Nice. Oh, so this is the rig. I haven't seen the classic one yet. Hmm. Oh. Yeah, I got shot. I figured that would happen. Oh no. I helped. I poisoned that guy. Poisoned them, and they are able to die easier. Oh, but I still lost. Oh, I'm still losing. We're terrible. Unless I have a really strong team, I just can't be carried properly. Yeah, you guys carry me. Trips, falls, dies. Whoopsie. Yeah. I helped. Woo! We won! Yeah, let's go. We did it. Oh, level 16. Oh, yeah. Let's go. You helped. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, chat. I'm glad you appreciate my help. Because some people are like, you didn't get any kills? You suck. I mean, usually not. MCCI is can be pretty chill. But, like, there's a lot of other games that are not like that. Let me just look at. I'm gonna do one more game of Battle Box, if I can, and then I probably would have to head off. Oh, it's the pumpkin patch. Neat. Chat appreciates CC. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh. Ah! Yeah, no, I was the last person on the team. Yeah, I suck. I just have to get through this round. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Totally fine. No. I'm off. Wait! No! I shot in the air! Oh, no. Oh, well. That did not work like I thought it would. Oh, yeah. That's okay. I did okay. I did okay. Sort of. I don't want to go to here, though. "54 minutes, an hour 40 minutes, an hour 48 minutes." I go here. Alright. This is about the time to head off. It's been fun. been very fun. Yeah, thank you for watching. We're gonna try and do a raid. I think I'm gonna go to Impulse. Because Impulse is doing some, I think, Hermitcraft. And I love Hermitcraft. If you didn't already know. So I'm going to maybe start a raid to do that. Let's see. People are ready to raid. Alright, I'm going to raid now.